Hello and welcome to a very, very, very belated video. It's the next one in my film review series, and these are literally just for fun, just to remind me of what I've seen at the cinema. This one is actually from March, I believe. That's how far behind I've got. And I wonder if any of you have ever set yourself a target to do something, or set yourself a project and then become basically overfaced by the project because you realise it's just too big and too scary. Well, that's kind of what's happened with me, and it's been a busy few months with one thing and another. So the film that I'm going to talk about today is Dune 2. And I am old enough to remember the original Dune. Can't remember if I saw them as films or if I saw it on the telly. I really can't remember. Anyway, I'm old enough to remember those. Don't know about that little blue blotch. It's got no business being there. So when this came out in March, I was actually quite excited to go and see it. And then I realised that I hadn't actually seen Dune 1. So, of course, then I wondered, would I be able to follow the storyline if I hadn't seen Dune 1? So I did what any self-respecting movie fan would do, and I ordered Dune 1 on Amazon. And I think I watched it literally something like the day before I went to see this. So you probably all know about Dune 2. I don't know how many there are going to be in this series because I don't recall all of the Dune stories. But let's talk about this film whilst I try and paint something here for you today. So Dune 2, this version, was directed by Denis Villeneuve, and it was written, the book was obviously written by Frank Herbert way back when, so long ago that I can't actually tell you when off the top of my head. And so Denis Villeneuve and John Spates, I think his name is, they wrote the screenplay. And the film stars Timothée Chalamet, who seems to be in quite a lot of films these days. Well, a lot of films that I've seen recently, shall we say. And Zendaya and Rebecca Ferguson, just to name a few people. So it is a film, I feel, where you've got to pay attention. You really do. I did struggle at times to figure out who was who and what relationship they were to different people, which is why I think watching it as a one-off film, maybe it didn't make altogether sense. Even having watched Dune 1, it didn't altogether make sense. And I think when Dune 3 comes out, I'm going to have to review both of these again, because there's a lot of story involved in this, a lot of layers and different relationships. And there are some very serious bits, there are some very funny bits, and the soundtrack was, I found, just absolutely amazing. The soundtrack is by Hans Zimmerman, and the music was just stunning, absolutely brilliant. The set designs, well, honestly, they're just absolutely amazing, because there's a lot of it filmed in desert areas. There's amazing creatures that kind of like wormy-like creatures that come up out of the sand, and the sand people ride these creatures from one place to another, but these creatures can also attack you if they don't like you. And I'd say it's a very complicated storyline, and at the centre of it, Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya meet and get to know each other, and then I won't spoil all of this, obviously, because I never do, but their relationship kind of develops. They become good friends, and there's a bit of romance there, understandably, and then stuff happens. It's quite political in terms of, not politics in our time, no, not at all like that, but in terms of the politics that is going on these different worlds. And the different people who are in charge, the different people who have different responsibilities, people who are trying to win and take over, and all sorts of shenanigans going on. So this film, the budget for it was £190 million. You heard it right, £190 million, which is an obscene amount of money. And it grossed worldwide 711,844,000-ish. That was when I looked these details up back in kind of March time when I did go and see the film. So it has changed a lot since then. I'm sure they've made even more money. The costumes were brilliant, and these were designed by Jacqueline West. And I didn't take note of the set designers and the people who did all the special effects and stuff like that. Just a cast of millions, I think, who must have been involved in this film. And it's 2 hours 46 minutes, so make sure you go to the loo before you go in, because it's a long one. Take snacks as well. So what did I think of this film? I enjoyed it. I say it was long. There were a couple of people in the showing that I went to who got up and walked out. I don't know if that was because they weren't enjoying it, or if they didn't realise it was going to be so long, or quite why but they didn't stay. And yeah, there was some really comedy moments that were very good fun. And it was a very enjoyable watch, I thought. So I'm using today my Winsor and Newton watercolours. I think I may have a couple of other brands of particular colours in there, but they're mainly Winsor and Newton. And I'm doing a very quick sketch, watercolour painting-y sketchy thing, just using all the different kind of tones that there were to represent the sand. And I'm actually using for inspiration a poster from one of the film. I think it's the Japanese film version had this kind of poster. I'll show you a picture so you know roughly what I'm trying to do. So mine's not going to look anything like that, but I'm using it as inspiration. So I will put this on fast forward now that I've done all the talking, and then I can concentrate on the painting and the drawing aspect of it, and I'll see you at the end. So there's the bulk of it done. I'm going to try and draw Mr. Chalamet here. Yeah, this pen's not going to work. So there we have it. An approximation of what I think was is one of the posters for Dune 2. I am going to try and draw the main character in here like it is on there, but it may not go well, so you might not see it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye. Will it be Posca's to the rescue? I think that's as good as it's going to get with the supplies I'm using. So thanks very much for watching. See you again soon. Bye.